Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be continuing a series on the channel that has quickly become a favourite amongst many of you in the lair. We've already covered both goblins and skeletons, but now I want to move back towards cave-dwelling creatures. Trolls are on the agenda today, and boy am I excited to cover them. Let's jump straight into the video. Trolls are a historic enemy for many low-level heroes in fantasy stories, with their heritage and origin dating back to that of Nordic folklore. They were believed to have magical powers, and when exposed to sunlight, they would burst into flames or turn to stone. In some folklore, they live up in the hills and in the mountains, typically in caves and caverns that can support their great size. In my campaigns, that is definitely the case. But they are pretty proficient trap makers, typically making pit traps using their great claws to dig into the earth. These pit traps can be as much as 10 or 20 feet deep, making it difficult for travellers and lone adventurers to escape if caught, especially if the base of the pit has been filled with stakes, which the troll can easily sharpen. They are known to be solitary creatures, especially the males. They are incredibly territorial, and have an incredible sense of smell that allows them to detect other trolls, both male and female. Males are typically bigger than females, but are both interested in fighting, and during the fall, many trolls travel across their region during nightfall in order to seek out mating partners. Typically, troll males will fight over females in great clashes where the winner takes all, meaning all the female trolls. The troll who wins gets to breed, and then returns to his territory. Lesser males who do survive these deadly clashes typically return back to their lairs with a chip on their shoulders, unless they want to wait for the alpha to leave and then try their luck a second time with whatever females have remained. Most trolls who are involved in my low-level stories are lesser males. This is because trolls really only know two things: fighting and breeding. If they can't breed, they'll fight. And if they can't fight other trolls, or at least beat other trolls, they'll fight lesser races like dwarfs and men. For some trolls, hunting men is a sport. Sure, most humanoids make for a good stew, but for a lot of trolls, it's the thrill of the hunt, feeling strong and powerful. Most trolls hoard treasure, typically from creatures that they've killed or stolen from. Trolls are known to steal from other troll hordes. Typically, lesser males do it to alphas as a petty way to undermine their authority. Some trolls do decide to shack up as couples in the winter, as they do actually have enough emotional depth to feel things like love. These trolls usually travel around during winter or hide somewhere out of the way to avoid leaving a scent for other males to follow. Trolls in my games can typically vary in appearance, with some looking more approachable than others. Some trolls are taller but leaner, whilst others are wide and stocky. Some have large noses and big round eyes, whilst others might have more narrow features. The variety of troll subraces are so varied that I can't speak on them all in this video, but many subraces are able to interbreed, creating even more subraces from their offspring. Troll mothers are incredibly protective of their children for the first few years of their life, taking great effort to carry them around, feed them, and protect them. Once their young reaches around 5 years old, they're considered adolescents and are quickly abandoned in order for the mother to begin a new breeding cycle. Troll mothers don't usually breed again until their babies leave the nest, which surely upsets many males. This is unless the trolls are a part of a larger colony where 1 or 2 females can be assigned to parenting. But troll colonies are very, very rare. Let's take a look at a stat block of trolls for 5th edition, just to get a basic understanding of them in the most popular franchise and current edition. Trolls are a large creature with a high strength score to match. They boast an impressive 15 AC, with a decent hit point pool, which allows them to soak a considerable amount of damage. Their speed matches that of a human, and they excel at both strength and constitution saving throws. They can see in the dark, they can smell real good, and enjoy one of the more powerful passive abilities, their regeneration, which allows them to regain HP at a considerable rate. They also get 3 attacks, which is absolutely gorgeous. They get to bite as well as make 2 claw attacks, dealing a significant amount of damage when clawing. Trolls are easily able to solo a group at a lower level, with a family of trolls being an interesting choice for a higher level party. One of the issues with trolls is that they're only really a threat if they get to use their regeneration, and I find that most players at my table already know how to invalidate it. If a player attacks a troll with acid or fire damage, their trait simply doesn't work. I'd like to show you guys my version of trolls, which I hope you'll find to be an interesting alternative. But before that, I'd like to give you guys my call to action for this video. If you're enjoying this video series and would like to support the channel, you can do so by hitting that like button and making sure that you're subscribed to the channel. As a small D&D channel, I'd really appreciate the support to grow and thrive and make more videos like this. Thank you guys so much. Alright guys, let's see the new stat block. First up, we've raised their strength slightly, so they can outmatch most strength-based characters. We've also given them expertise in athletics to make them more challenging to grapple or overwhelm. We've also lowered their AC, but raised their hit points, allowing the fight to continue on a little bit longer, but making them easier to hit. We're still respecting the formula of 8d10 plus 40, and as long as you're within that formula, you're not really pushing the challenge rating of the troll too much up or down. Against a high damage group, more hit points is a good idea. Against a low damage group, the normal amount 84 or less could be appropriate. My trolls aren't very, they're not as perceptive and are able to be fooled. They've still got a great nose, so if your party's barbarian hasn't had a bath in a while, well, the troll might smell him. The big changes are in its features. We've added a new feature called Giant Strength, which I give to all of my giants, as well as a shift in how the troll's regeneration works. The first is obviously the Giant Strength, which allows the troll to knock creatures prone with its claw attack. It requires a strength saving throw from the creature, and allows the troll to double up, focusing on a particular creature. It can knock the creature prone with its first claw attack, then roll with advantage on subsequent attacks against them. It really drives the fear of God into your players when the troll decides that the fighter with the shield has been a nuisance for too long and needs to die. I've had situations where trolls have knocked players off a hill with this ability or into a pit. Having interesting terrain when fighting trolls always makes things more exciting, especially when the troll is playing whack-a-mole with a low AC party. The other ability, the troll's regeneration, has also been tweaked. I understand why trolls lose their regeneration when they take acid or fire damage, but I've always wondered why a troll has a constitution score of 20 if it's not able to deal with acid or fire damage. It also seems odd to me that a troll isn't vulnerable to fire or acid when its regeneration ability is so heavily intertwined with it. In my campaigns, trolls are able to roll a con save in order to try and soak the damage. If they succeed, their regeneration will work as normal. If they fail, it will not. It's not a huge change, but just allowing trolls to roll a con save reminds me of how zombies have that feature, Undead Fortitude, which I'll put on the screen, which allows them to roll a con save when knocked to 0 HP, in order to try and remain at 1 HP. If the party decide, if you decide that you want the party to fight against a troll alpha, it might be worth giving them proficiency in strength and con saving throws, just so you can have the troll succeed more on its regeneration rolls. Whilst players might feel good brutally destroying your troll with acid or fire damage with the raw troll stats, it's worth considering that fire spells are incredibly common amongst spellcasters in Dungeons & Dragons, and usually at least one player in your game is going to be aware of their regeneration ability. When I want to give a troll some extra oomph against parties like that, I give them a raw ability that allows them to cause the frightened effect to all creatures within 60 feet. I see this as a magical ability, and trolls historically, seem to have magical abilities, so I don't think a raw ability is too strange. You can also give trolls abilities that empower their critical hits, or an ability that allows them to regain HP if they successfully bite a creature. I typically do this for player characters leveled 7 to 10. Maybe giving the troll a small tribe of goblins as servants. Here are a few ideas I'd use for alpha trolls. Anyway guys, just remember, don't let your trolls be pussies. Trolls deserve to be respected and feared, and their hordes should be coveted. It's been me, and you've been watching The Lair. Peace.